welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, I was inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. Our next guest is an entrepreneur that decided to create non-toxic baby bodysuits inspired by Hispanic heritage, embracing the values of community, individualism, resiliency, and authenticity, while creating a legacy through her brand and believing her bodysuits are not just clothes. They hold meaning and create conversations. And here to share more on that, we welcome Ojala founder Ramona Ferreyra. Hello, welcome. Good morning. So let's talk about these baby bodysuits, and let's talk about how a person even decides to just go into the business of onesies.
It was an interesting path. I actually came from working on disaster risk reduction for the military. And fashion is one of the industries that creates most damage in the world. I wanted to create something for my nephews and for all the babies in my community that was focused on who they really were, but didn't want to do damage while doing that.
And so what do you reference as damaging, fashion damage? What do you consider fashion damage?
The worst part of it is the ink process. So anytime that you're dyeing fabric, you're actually polluting all of the waterways that surround any facility that's in that process. So when you go to third world countries where a lot of manufacturing takes place, most of their waterways are damaged by the products that we consume, and with fast fashion brands becoming more popular because things are cheaper and people get rid of them quicker, and our quality has also gone down over the years in fashion, it's really easy to impact things negatively.
How did you learn about this?
So I actually worked at the Gap while working my way up to grad school. When I moved to Hawaii, that's where I worked for the FBI and the Department of Defense. I started looking at disaster reduction. And in the back of my mind was always an admiration, I would say, for the Gap, because they were one of the first to really start tracking the impact that fashion has on communities.
Isn't that amazing how we just kind of just freely purchase clothes without even knowing how it's impacting the people who are making them?
Yeah.
So it's lovely that you're opening up this consciousness, and thank you for sharing it with our viewers. And let's talk about your process, right? Because one of the other things that I noticed about your organization is like the quality of the material is also an important factor.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
So if you feel the material is actually a lot heavier than anything that's on the market, and it has a blend of spandex inside, and then we do hand printing only in the Bronx. We support a local print house, Eric Michael, which is amazing, and our inks are water-based. So that's when the non-toxic comes in as well.
Right, and so how is one able to identify ink from being non-toxic?
It has to be sold and purchased as such. Otherwise, it needs to be
identified as such in its label.
Yes.
In its labeling. Okay, so now let's talk about these symbols.
The designs.
Yes.
So the first one here is folklorico, and folklorico is a nod to our African heritage and our passion for music. So you guys were just talking about salsa. That would be a part of that. This one here is our chacabana. It's inspired by my grandparents and the duality, but at the end of the day, how a lot of the elders in the Caribbean use the chacabana or the guayabera to honor that heritage.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute, a baby guayanera. Guayabera,
yeah. And then,
guayabera.
This is Diosa Luna. So Diosa Luna is a Taino goddess. It was really popular with the Tainos of Dominican Republic, but it's becoming more known. And I write a poem. So if you look at the packaging, this is how I package every piece. And there's a poem that's different for each design. And the poem for this one talks about the connection between women, the moon, and the process of motherhood.
And I also understand that you designed these specifically to create a conversational piece, right? And also, I love the orgullo behind it, right? The pride in which these children are already being raised into.
Yes. So I think for me as a social entrepreneur, I do a lot of community service, and I advocate for NYCHA, public transportation, and also clothes Rikers. And this to me is a way to help the next generation hold on to that heritage. And it's been proven that as children hold on to their heritage, they're more likely to grow up with self-esteem that's higher, be more productive, and be more successful. So I wanted people, especially in my community of Mott Haven, to have a tool to help them do that and start the conversation.
Okay, and so before we go, let's just share about your future goals.
So I have been really focused on those three areas, I would say, for community development. And the one that's taking up the most attention right now is the borough-based jail. So I've been involved for the last 7 months in developing the investment plan that's actually going to be attached to the jail that's going to come to my neighborhood. And we're addressing everything from education shortfalls to repairing NYCHA facilities and creating a youth hub and creating better transportation options. So I wish I could do more
This
of
is like a-
everything, but
right.
I'm one person.
No,
so
of
I think
course.
this is just an extension of my values as a human being.
I think it's lovely, and thank you for your contribution.
No, thank you.
To
Thanks
our
for
world,
having
to our
us.
society.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
gracias.
And look, passing it on to the next generation as they're coming into the world.
Yes.
Bravo. Good for you.
Gracias.
Gracias a usted. All right, you guys, once again, to find these one-of-a-kind cultural baby bodysuits, go to ojalathreads.com. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll talk to one of New York City's rising actresses. Don't go anywhere.